What's up, everyone? It is your host, Ghost, coming to you live with another wonderful video. How's everyone doing? Apparently, my soundboard is being quiet. Oh, well. Anyways, for whatever reason, it's being quiet right now. Okay. Do. There we go. All right, let's try that again. What's up, everyone? It is your host, Ghost, coming to you live with another wonderful video. How is everyone doing today? I got to start waking up a little earlier, probably 15 minutes earlier, because I seem to be kind of lagging in the morning. So actually, let's change my times. Getting up now. There we go. That might help a little bit. All right. Anyways, yeah, I seem to lag, be kind of slow in the morning. No surprise there. Anyways, so what we got to talk about today? First, let me get to the topics and then I'll say what I want to say. We're going to look at IDF. That the IDF has confirmed that they have bombed a refugee camp, one of the biggest or the largest Gaza refugee camp. The spokesperson's response is kind of insane, honestly, and not really surprising. And then a congresswoman's gets schooled by a journalist, a citizen journalist, on taxing the rich. It was kind of funny, honestly. And then Katt Williams says to stop reparations, you got to pay people reparations. Let me try that again. Katt Williams says to stop racism, we got to pay for reparations. I think I said that incorrect the first time. I don't even remember what I said the first time. So we'll look at that. And then some other white guy talks about how white people are racist by just being white. And then a Cornell student, Patrick Day, has been arrested for making online threats to Jewish students. And then we got some transgender delusion. We got two videos on that, actually. Sorry, all my stuff is like, okay. And then Trump's attorney, Alina Habba, talks about Chris Christie. And then finally, we got some funny Halloween costumes to react to. So that's my plan for the day. All right. So that was everyone's Halloween. I hope you all had a good one. I certainly did. Me and my wife, we took our 2-year-old for her first Halloween. She had a blast, although she did get a little overwhelmed at the crowds. We didn't do we kind of did, but we didn't really go door to door. We went to a city near us, or a little small town type thing near us, and they had their businesses business, like the street blocked off, and they had businesses that were giving out candy. So that's what we did, but it was a lot of fun. Like I said, our daughter's 2. So I think she had fun, but she's kind of shy and she gets overwhelmed in crowds like her father does. I really hate crowds. Crowds make me nervous. But she, I think she had fun in general. And then we came back to where we live, and we kind of walked around there just a little bit, but it was kind of clear that our daughter was pretty tired at the end, but it was really cute. She went up to people's doors, and she she's tiny, so she tries knocking, and I ring the doorbell, and she's standing there with her little bucket holding it up, and it was really cute. So I had a good time. It was our daughter's first Halloween. We didn't celebrate the last couple times because she was kind of too young to understand it. So, but yeah. So that was my Halloween. I hope you all had a good one yourselves. Whether, you have kids and you went trick-or-treating with them, or, you're just by yourself and you went to like a costume party. Whatever you did that, was fun. I hope you guys did. All right. So let's get into it. Okay. All right. Children were carrying other injured children. So, like I said, the IDF, that's an Israeli Defense Force, bombed the largest refugee camp in Gaza. This is just terrible. Like a refugee camp? Really? Really? A refugee camp? All right. Let's get into it. An Israeli strike targeting a Hamas commander in the densely populated Jabalia refugee camp in northern Gaza has left catastrophic damage and killed a large number of people, according to eyewitnesses and medic in the enclaves. See, this is the thing is, I kept saying, like, stop with the airstrikes. You're hurting civilian casualties. Send like Mossad or your special forces or whatever, and do precision targeted strikes where you take one person out, maybe their bodyguards or whatever, and then have a fucking good day, like fuck off. But when you send in an airstrike and then you get a bunch of civilian casualties. And it doesn't matter that there was a Hamas commander in there. You just killed a bunch of civilians. Like it's a dumb way to take out a Hamas terrorist. Let's see. The devastation wrought by the strike triggered a fresh groundswell of grief over spiraling civilian casualties. As Gazans awoke to another communication blackout Wednesday morning, survivors and eyewitnesses spoke of apocalyptic scenes in the aftermath of the strike. Which tore a massive crater through the middle of the crowded camp. I was waiting in line to buy bread when suddenly, and without any prior warning, 7 to 8 missiles fell. An eyewitness, Mohammed Ibrahim, told CNN, there were like 7 to 8 huge holes in the ground, full of killed people, body parts all over the place. He said, it felt like the end of the world. According to a statement by the Israeli Defense Force, the airstrike targeted and killed Ibrahim Bayri, whom it described as one of the Hamas commanders responsible for the October 7th attack on Israel, which left 1,400 people dead and hundreds taken hostage. The IDF also said numerous other Hamas terrorists were hit in the strike and claimed that the Central Jabalia Battalion had taken control of civilian buildings. Hamas, however, has strongly denied the presence of one of its leaders in the refugee camp. Hazim Qassami, a spokesperson for the militant group, accused Israeli of attempting to justify what he described as a heinous crime against safe civilians, children, and women in the Jabalia camp. Eyewitness Mohammed al-Aswad described a horrific scene in the aftermath of the strike, telling CNN that he ran to the refugee camp to check on family after hearing the missiles land. Children were carrying other injured children, running with gray dust filling the air. Bodies were hanging on the rubble, many of them unrecognized. Some were bleeding and others were burnt. Aswad told CNN by telephone. People in the area were hysterical, he added. I saw women screaming and confused. They didn't know whether to cry for losing their children or run to look for them, especially since many of the children were playing in the neighborhood. Images from the scene show a huge crater among rubble and damaged buildings. Palestinians and rescue workers are seen attempting to find victims, some using their hands to scoop the detritus away. Casualty figures from the airstrike are not yet clear, and the communication blackout in the Strip has made it difficult to establish the full extent of the toll. Officials in Hamas-run Gaza, as well as medics who treated the casualties, says the attack caused hundreds of deaths and injuries. Jabalia is a densely populated refugee camp established shortly after the Arab-Israeli War of 1948, which hundreds of thousands of Palestinians fled and were expelled from territories that encompassed the newly established state of Israel and later denied return. The camp is a crowd buildup area with house, shop, apartment buildings jammed up against one another. The roads between them in many areas barely wide enough for a car to pass. Speaking to CNN Wolf Blitzer, IDF spokesperson Lieutenant Colonel Richard Heckett accused Hamas of hiding as they do behind civilians, reminding that there are many innocent civilians in the camp. Heckett responded. This is a tragedy of war and urged civilians to move south. Southern Gaza has also seen lethal airstrikes, and aid organizations have repeatedly warned that there is no safe place in the isolated enclave. Israeli bombardment of Gaza has killed at least 88,485 people and injured more than 21,000, according to the Palestinian Ministry of Health in Ramallah, which draws on information from the Hamas-controlled enclave. So, that's basically saying that number could be skewed. On Wednesday, two Palestinian telecom firms announced internet and communication networks disruptions in Gaza. But Paltel said that there was a complete interruption of all communication internet service in Gaza, while mobile services from the communication company Jawala were also down, according to the company's statement. God damn, how long is this goddamn article? Okay. At the Indonesian hospital, the nearest major medical facility to Jabala, videos showed a long line of bodies laying on the floor of the hospital, as well as large numbers of wounded people, including children, as doctors rushed to treat their injuries. Many of the injured could be seen receiving treatment on the floor because of the hospital's overcrowded condition. Hospital head Dr. Atif Al-Kahut estimated that scores had been killed in the blast. What you see is a scene no one can imagine. Injured martyrs, charred bodies in the hundreds, said another doctor, Muhammad Al-Ran. All we can do is keep taking them in. Most of the injuries are from explosive head injuries and amputations. Mohammed Hawajiri, a nurse with Doctors Without Borders, MSF, at Al-Shifa, a hospital in Gaza, said that some of the wounds also arrived at that hospital. Some of the wounded also arrived at the hospital. Young children arrived at the hospital with deep wounds and severe burns. They came without their parents. Many were screaming and asking for their parents. I stayed with them until we could find a place, as the hospital was full with patients. Hawajare said in a statement. According to Hamas-controlled Minister of Interior, in Gaza, 20 homes were completely destroyed in the bombing. Jabalia, like other refugee camps in the Strip, is crowded with homes, shops, and apartment buildings, where many roads between them are barely wide enough to work on a mess. Okay, let's just repeat. All right. Shortly after the I'm just gonna be all this because it's so bullshit, not boring. Shortly after the BAS, Israeli human rights organization B'Tselem condemned Israel's week-long aerial bombardment of Gaza, saying the scale of killing Israel has and continued to wreak on Gaza is horrifying. In a statement released on Tuesday, more than 8,000 people have been killed so far, more than half of them women and children. Entire buildings have collapsed, and with occupants still inside. Whole families have been wiped out in an instant. This criminal harm to civilians is intolerable, and the obvious need to be stated again and again. Not everything is allowed in war, including war on Hamas. It says. I agree with that. Yeah. Look, this is the problem. Like I keep saying, like you didn't need to throw a goddamn airstrike down. You're just gonna killing civilians, innocent civilians. It's not their fault that Hamas is hiding behind them. It's not their fault. And there was a Hamas commander or anything like that. You don't need to throw a goddamn airstrike down. Go in there, use precise, use a scalpel, not a fucking hammer for this. Like, send some special forces or Mossad and have them assassinate, the Hamas commander. Boom. All right, cool. You get what? One, maybe 15, depending on how many bodyguards he has. Maybe more. But, you at least target only combatants. And then if you come out and then civilians are shooting at you and you got to shoot at them, well, they're shooting at you. All right, cool. Well, not cool, but all right. And then you have some justification. But if you throw an airstrike on a population for just because there's a goddamn Hamas terrorist in there, it's not a good look, and it's not a good tactic. You're just going to turn the world against you. And yes, you got your fanatics and everything that are going to be on your side regardless, but come on, let's use some intelligence. Like, it's become an age where the answer to everything is just throw a missile down. And that's not always the answer. If he was like in a less populated city and you could, throw one down, maybe that might have been all right. But 8? God damn. It's just ridiculous. This is ridiculous. I'm not really on anyone's side either on this. I'm not in Israel's side. I'm not on Hamas side. But like, this is just, this is just horrible, and shame on Israel for killing a bunch of innocent people just to kill one commander. Because let's be honest, any bodyguards or fighters, they're not the target. It's one guy. It's ridiculous. These poor people. The Palestinian Ministry of Foreign Affairs described the strike as a massacre, referenced chilling document scenes of women and children. It has its bones in large-scale massacres carried out in full view of the women and under pretext of self-defense. Saudi Arabia, Iran, Georgia, and Egypt has also condemned the strikes, with Egypt accusing Israel of breaking international law with what it said was the inhuman targeting of a residential area. Egypt considered this as a new flagrant violation by the Israeli forces against the provisions of international law and international humanitarian law. And again, also, you just make more enemies this way too. Like, Saudi Arabia, Iran, Georgia, and Egypt. This could be the thing that causes them to start working together and then go after you. Like, Israel is surrounded by, people that countries don't really like them. When you do shit like this, it kind of gives those people some incentive to like, hey, let's knock down Israel peg. When pressed multiple times throughout a White House briefing on the Jabalah strike and on whether Israel is doing enough to protect Palestinian citizens, National Security Council spokesman John Kirby said the U.S. has indications they are trying. Doesn't look like they're trying very hard. We're not going to react to every event in real time, but we certainly recognize that civilians have been hurt. He said civilians have been killed to the tune of many thousand. We recognize that. We observe that. We are not accepting of any single civilian death in Gaza. Looks like you are, honestly. He added that it's not the goal of the Israeli forces to go out and deliberately take innocent civilian lives, and they had tried to make efforts to minimize that. That, I don't believe that. Like, when you send 8 missiles down to Israel, or not to Israel, to Gaza, to a refugee camp, are you really trying that hard not to take civilians' lives? Like 8 missiles, really? And I'm not saying like, oh, that's overhead kill because it's 8. I understand. Some missiles can be imprecise. You kind of like throw as many as you can reasonably, and to hopefully ensure that the guy that you're targeting dies. But you throw that many into a civilian population, yeah, there's going to be a lot of civilian lives taken. So I don't really that doesn't jive with me. They're making efforts to minimize that. Throwing 8 missiles or 7 to 8, I think, was missiles down on down on a civilian population. It's not really trying to minimize it. Riyad Masora, the head of the Palestinian Permanent Observed Mission to the United Nations, told CNN on Tuesday that the strike on Jabal refugee camp was a war crime and should be referred to the International Criminal Court. Those who are responsible for giving the order for that crime should hear something from Mr. Karim A.A. Khan from the ICC, International Criminal Court, he said in the reference to the ICC prosecutor. He has the courage, and I hope he does. We appreciate the fact that he came to Rafah crossing, and he made a statement there, but it'd be nice to issue a warrant of arrest for those responsible for such crimes. Ground operation continues. The IDF on Wednesday named 9 more soldiers killed in northern Gaza, the morning after announcing the first 2 deaths of Israeli troops since Israeli ground insurgent ramped up on Friday. Details on how the soldiers were killed has not been released, but 7 were part of the Givati Brigade, and 2 were members of the Armored Corps. The Israeli military claimed it killed approximately 50 Hamas terrorists during a ground operation in northern Gaza Tuesday. It comes after Israel said over the weekend it has entered a second stage war against Hamas following weeks of strikes on Gaza. In a statement Tuesday evening, the IDF said the troops from its Givati Brigade also operated in western Jabalah and were targeting a Hamas commander in the area. The area of operation include firing positions, terror hole used by terrorists as a passageway to coast, and a large stock of weapons. The IDF said soldiers killed a number of terrorists in the course of combat. In addition to targeted strikes by the Israeli Air Force, in addition, Jesus Christ, how many additions are there? To seize weapons and military equipment, the IDF claimed to have local intelligence documents as well. All right. So there we go. That's the article. Now, let us watch Wolf Blitzer.
We were focused again on our target.
Let's watch Wolf Blizzard talk to the Israeli spokesman. sorry. And some sick. Get my ugly mug out of here.
We were focused
And the
again
fact that
on
they're-
a target, a senior commander, Wolf, and we'll be updating you with more data as the hour moves ahead.
But even if that Hamas commander was there amidst all those Palestinian refugees who are in that Jabalia refugee camp, Israel still went ahead and dropped a bomb there, attempting to kill this Hamas commander, knowing that a lot of innocent civilians, men, women, and children, presumably would be killed. Is that what I'm hearing?
That's not what you're hearing, Wolf. We're focused on this commander, again, who you'll get more data who this man was. Killed many Israelis. We're doing everything we can. It's a very complicated battle space. There could be infrastructure there. There could be tunnels there. We're still looking into it, and we'll give you more data as the hour moves ahead.
But you know that there are a lot of refugees, a lot of innocent civilians, men, women, and children in that refugee camp as well, right?
This is the tragedy of war, Wolf. I mean, as you know, we've been saying for days, move south. Civilians that are not involved with Hamas, please move south.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get a little bit more information. You knew there were civilians there. You knew there were refugees, all sorts of refugees, but you decided to still drop a bomb on that refugee camp, attempting to kill the Hamas commander. By the way, was he killed?
I can't confirm yet. There'll be more updated. Yes, we know that he was killed. About the civilians there, we're doing everything we can to minimize. I'll say it again. Sadly, they are hiding themselves within civilian population. And again, we are doing this stage by stage, and we're going to go after every one of these terrorists who was involved in that heinous attack on the 7th of October. Wolf.
All right, sorry. So yeah, you hear him. He's I just want to look. All right, let's listen to this one more time.
We were focused
And the
again
fact that
on
they're-
a target, a senior commander, Wolf, and we'll be updating you with more data as the hour moves ahead.
But even if that Hamas commander was there amidst all those Palestinian refugees who are in that Jabalia refugee camp, Israel still went ahead and dropped a bomb there, attempting to kill this Hamas commander, knowing that a lot of innocent civilians
Killed many Israelis. Battle space. There could be infrastructure there.
But you know that there are a lot of refugees, a lot of.
This is the tragedy of war, Wolf. I mean, as you know, we've been saying for days, move south.
Now, look, yes, they have been saying move south. If you're not with Hamas, move south, blah, 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 blah. But they can't really move that much further south because I think Jordan or Egypt, whoever they're by, is denying to take them in. So they're moving as far south as they can, but they really can't move any further south. And you keep bombing everything. And like Blister says, so you decided to drop the bomb anyways. Again, you could have accomplished this through precision strikes by actually having people go to ground and all that stuff. Their reasoning doesn't make any sense to me. Or try and kill this Hamas leader. Got it. We're really trying to get him. And then he almost couldn't. He's like, I'm not going to go into any details. And then he does confirm the death of the guy. Which makes you think bullshit, really. And I'm not a CNN fan, but I mean, they seem to be getting this one right this time around. And they're asking a fairly good question. You knew there were innocent civilians in that refugee camp, right? And you decided to drop the bomb anyways. Look, a tragedy of war is, if you launch a missile and you hit a target, that's generally a military target, but there's a few civilians are killed. That's a tragedy of war. It's what it is. It's collateral damage. It's unfortunate. But when you throw 7 to 8 bombs, or I think it was, into a refugee camp with a bunch of innocent civilians, it's not a tragedy of war. That's a deliberate intention of launching missiles to kill, yes, a terrorist, but there's going to be a bunch of civilian casualties. Like, it's kind of a guaranteed at this point. So this is just dumb. Israeli made a very poor decision this time around. And you know what? I'm not surprised. And they're going to get a lot of backlash for it. And you know what? Good for them. Good for them to get a bunch of backlash for it. All right, let's move on. Let's watch, get the bitter taste out of my mouth of dead civilians. Let's watch a Congresswoman get schooled by a citizen journalist. So there you go.
So you're saying that you're saying that they're paying their fair share is what you're saying?
No, I'm asking what percentage is a fair share.
Their fair share, the same. If a third of my money is going to taxes, then I think a third of their money should be going.
It does.
Well, it does.
I'm trying to understand because you realize the effective tax rate on the poor is less than it is on the rich, right?
Okay, so.
And also, a lot of the poor, they don't actually end up paying taxes. They end up getting more back in benefits than they do in paying taxes. So they're actually a net negative.
First of all,
look at her. She's like, fuck.
The poor. I'm very close to that line, but I'm not the poor.
Okay, so the effective tax rate on the middle class is less than it is on the rich, correct? What fair share would you like to Senate?
She's so stumped. She can't she's like, fuck. Look, fair share, 5% across the board, 10%. Or cut all taxes and just do not income, like sales, like just sales tax. Fuck, I forgot what it's called. Purchaser tax. It's you basically get taxed on whatever you buy. So the more you buy, the more you get taxed on. As in you buy a bunch of stuff, obviously you get more taxes, and you get taxed for every purchase you make. And you get, if you don't buy as much, you get less taxes. That's a fair thing. But it's always this, let's tax the rich. The quote unquote was it 1%? Most of them aren't like millionaires, billionaires. There's people with their mom and pop shops that have some businesses or that have a business and all that. That's generally the 1%. They're not actually rich people. So this old tax of rich is insane. How about we stop taxing everyone over every goddamn thing? Property tax, death tax, inheritance tax. I die, I get a tax. We get overtaxed like no way tomorrow. But then the solution is tax the rich. Look, here's the thing about the rich people. You know what they do? Because they're rich, they move. They leave. You know why? Because they can do that. They're able to leave a place that taxes the shit out of them. It's kind of the perk of being rich. You get to go, bye. So if you go ahead and tax the rich are going to leave, and the ones that can't are going to go broke because the taxes are insane, and the whole increased taxes will happen on the middle class. It's ridiculous. But that was really funny. She has no comeback for anything he has to say. He's like, I don't know what you're talking about. All right. Comedian Katt Williams says it's time to stop racism by giving black people reparations. Oh, and by the way, for that Congresswoman, just saying. And also, whenever he asked the question, she was All right, let's watch Katt Williams talk some dumb shit.
White people, it's now time for black people to get paid reparations for everything that black people have been through in this country. Let's pay those reparations. Look at white people. What? Okay, white people, I know you're wondering, why now? Why, Katt? Why now? Why? Why? Well, here's the thing, white people, and I'm being honest with you. As black people, we've never said this in history, but it's time for us to get reparations. Black people, it's our money, and when do we need it? You see that, white people? We didn't even rehearse that. That's how badly black people need this money. Like, every one of us needs this. And white people, you need it too. You need it too. Aren't you ready to get this racism shit past us? Like, no white person in here has ever had a slave a day in your life.
Then why should we have to pay reparations, Katt? Now, this may be just a comedy routine, but this is dumb. Okay, let me finish it.
Get this the fuck off of you. Pay those motherfucking reparations.
No, I'm not paying reparations. Actually, paying reparations would be far more racist than the racism claims that are going on now. What are you fucking talking about? Again, this could be just a comedian ring. We're taking this a little too seriously. But no, this is a very dumb point. Here's what black people really need. They don't need reparations. They don't need free money for something that never happened to them. Make it clear to happen. The reparations would have been appropriate right after the ending of slavery. That would have been a good time for reparations because there's a lot of people, you know, that would have been an appropriate time for reparations. But now, you know, decades, centuries. Let's see, hold on. So 1863. So it's been, a century and 6 decades, or yeah. So a century and 6 decades. So 160 years. My math is right. Yeah, 160 years. Right? No, 263 years. Hold on. I don't math well. Ended in 1863. Yeah, 160 years. All right, cool. I can somewhat math apparently. So yeah, 160 years. It has been far too long to do with any reparations. And who's black enough? And how do you distinguish, you know, who was a slave, who had ancestors that were a slave, and who didn't? And what about the people that half and half? Do you know, does half have to pay and the other half gets the money? It's like there's no way to do this. If you want to stop racism, Morgan Freeman said it best. Stop talking about it. Not every issue has to do with racism. The white cop that shoots the black guy doesn't always have to do with racism. Unless the white guy says F U N word, then guess what? Odds are it had nothing to do with racism. It had everything to do with the interaction between those people, how one or the other behaved, etc. For all we know, you know, the cop that's an asshole to a black person is probably just as much of an asshole to the white guy. So, you know, if you want to stop racism, stop giving two shits about it. Stop the shit that's going on in your community, the drugs, the crime rates, the single moms, and all that, and start taking responsibility. Hey, look, we're fucking up. Okay. It's been a year. It's been century and 6 decades since slavery ended. It's no longer because of slavery. It's because of this. It's because we're fucking up. And then, there's the argument. It's like, oh, well, what about civil rights and everything? All right, that may be a thing. Yeah, we could talk about that. You may be right about that. That, some when civil rights became, paramount and Black people weren't treated fairly and equal. Yeah, that was a thing back then. It's not a thing now. Even during all those times where, the Black people were being held back due to racism, absolutely, and due to slavery and all that, the family unit was still strong. The family unit allowed many people to succeed. So what you need more than anything, instead of free fucking money for something that never happened to you personally, is to start investing in the family unit. Stop taking the money from the government because you decided to get pregnant and by some broke ass dude because he was a loser, but you liked the way he talked. So you got pregnant by him, and then you're shocked when he has 7 other baby mamas. Like, that's what really needs to happen. The family unit needs to come back. Fathers need to be back in the households, and things, thrive. You know why the other races thrive? Is because a lot of time the single father rate isn't as high as in other place, and as it is in the Black community. As far as I know, I could be incorrect on that. Maybe there's another race that has a higher family or single father rate, but I'm pretty sure it's the Black community. All right, let's watch this white guy get mad at being white.
I am the oppressor. I am racist. Oh my God, he just said he's racist. It shouldn't be this hard, you guys. If you live in America, went to school, participate in the socioeconomic structures, participate in any sort of system, education, business, entertainment, what have you, and you are white, you are indoctrinated, you are oppressive, and yes, you are racist. It is something that we have learned, either consciously or subconsciously, all of us as white Americans. And what we have to do.
So just a question. So if you do all that, but you're Mexican or Black, you're not racist. But if you're white, you're definitely racist. Right? It's pretty dumb.
Unlearn that. I'm trying to do the work. Part of doing the work is pushing against dangerous narratives that are counterintuitive to that unlearning, like white people are also oppressed by racism. We're not. We are the oppressors. That's the point. You should be doing the unlearning too. Do the work. Yeah.
This dude's just dumb. Because his thinking is if you participate. So if you don't participate in all that stuff,
I am the oppressor. I am racist. Oh my God, he just said he's racist. It shouldn't be this hard, you guys. If you live in America, went to
okay, so if you live in America, went to school,
participate in the socioeconomic structures,
participate in the economic structure,
participate in any sort of system, education, business,
participate in any system,
entertainment, what have you, and you are white.
You
are indoctrinated. You are oppressive.
Okay, so you're indoctrinated, you're oppressive, you're a racist. Now, so you didn't go to school, or maybe you did go to school, but then you didn't participate in the social economic system, didn't participate in any system, whatever, and white, then you're not racist, right? If you just went to school, then you're not racist, right? Or if you participated in all of those things you named, but you're Black, you're not racist. You see how this doesn't make any sense? It's a big L on his part, because it doesn't make any sense. If you're all these things, but you're not white, then you're not racist. But if you are white, you're racist. Because all that really defines what makes you racist. Like, just ignore his long tyrant about everything. All that makes you racist is the fact that you're white. That's all that makes him you racist, in his opinion. Because let's say you participate in everything he just said, but you're Black. Are you racist then? Are you oppressive then? I'm willing to bet he says no. So it's just dumb. Every time someone talks about trying to calling people racist and shit, it's always like some dumb fucking thought. Like, people are fucking retarded. All right, Cornell student Patrick Dye was arrested and charged with making online threats to kill, rape, and slit the throats of Jewish students. According to his LinkedIn, he worked as a safety officer at Cornell. You can't make this up. So it's an Asian guy. It's actually kind of surprising. Okay. Sorry. That's his resume. Jewish people. So this is what he posted apparently. Jewish people need to be killed. You see a Jewish person on campus, follow them home and slit their throats. Rats need to be eliminated from Cornell. What the fuck? Israel deserved 10-7. Genocidal what the fuck? Okay, genocidal fascist Zionist regime will be destroyed. Rape and kill all the Jew women before they birth more Jew Hitlers. Jews are excrements on the face of the earth. No Jew civilian is innocent. Ew, this guy's fucking insane. Like, and I don't really know if he should have been arrested. I don't know. Maybe. I think. Sorry, yawning. I think for an online threat, you have to be more specific. You can't say Jewish person. You got to be like, hey, Sally, or Sally Bernstein, you need to go and follow them home and threaten and slit their throat. So I don't know if that's actually indicates an online threat, just because because I'm pretty sure online threat has to be like specific. I don't know. I think that's how it would be. Like, because if you're in a theater and you're saying kill the Jews or kill the whites or something, and there's no, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know. I was making a bad example there, but like I don't know if that's maybe I don't think that's an actually like a real threat, because I'm pretty sure let's see. Hold on. Sorry, I'm just looking it up. Okay. So I'm looking it up. Now, this is a quick Google search, so I don't know how accurate this is. But so let's see. If an online threat would rise to the same level as in-person or telephonic criminal threat, then the online threat will likely be considered illegal. Usual considerations include who the threat is directed to, what is being threatened, who is making the threat, is the threat credible, what did the speaker really mean or intend. If the threat is directed at a specific person with a specific threat of harm from an easily identifiable source and appears credible, it's likely the threat will be considered illegal. When the threat does not target an easily identifiable person or group, or does not specify a type of harm or just terminally vague, then it is not likely to rise to the level of criminal threat. And then I guess, and as the 2014 decision advised, a speaker's intent can make all the difference in determining whether a post is considered a threat or protected free speech. So I think the hang up here is easily identifiable. Like what? Like, how is a Jew easily identified? Like, there's the stereotypes, of course. Easily identifiable person or group. So I don't know. Like, he says Jews. Don't get me wrong. This dude like, yeah, get the Jews. He's saying that. But like, are Jews that easily identifiable? You can't really, like, obviously if they got the name Bernstein or whatever, maybe. Then maybe it's a little easier. But I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not good at these things. I think there can be an argument for an easily identified. I think the rest of it, what is being threatened? Well, slitting their throats, rapes, and all that stuff. Who is making a threat? Well, it's easy. This dude's was pretty, it was pretty easy to find out who this dude was, apparently. Is the threat credible? I mean, you could argue it's credible. And then what did the speaker really mean or intend? Well, that's kind of obvious. So I think 1, 2, 3, 4. I think 4 of the 5, it's pretty boom. It's that first one is who does it if is the threat the people threaten, the group threaten, easily identifiable. I guess it is because he's saying specifically Jew people. So I guess that's identifying people. Because the I don't know. So I think there's some arguments for it, and I guess we'll see. I mean, he got arrested, so I guess we'll see. All right, let's look at some delusional people. But that one's a little hard. That last one was a little hard. I don't know. Look, it's a terrible to say. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, this guy's fucking insane. That's a terrible thing to say. Why? What? Why? But I don't know how much of a you can label that as. I think it's I think a reasonable person would assume that as or would make it. I think it's easy to make the argument that it's an online threat. He is, it's very. I guess the part of my hang up on is how is a Jewish person easily identifiable? Like, if you don't know their name or anything, and even people with Bernstein and all that stuff, that doesn't mean they're necessarily Jewish. So I really don't know that first part. I think all the other elements, the 4 elements, are marked up, are fairly are easy to definitely it falls under. I think that first one though, that might be the part where they can argue, because I mean, like, what makes it do? Like, that's my question. I think if he specifically said like if you see a Jewish person around campus, or they're part of, the, Jewish club of Cornell, I'm making something like that, and then go and follow them and blah, 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 blah. I think then he's like, all right, boom, instant. Yeah, easy. But I don't know if just saying Jewish person is enough for an easily identifiable group. I don't know. I really don't know. But apparently this, Asian people hate Jews. Apparently. All right. Let's watch some delusional dude. Do. All right. All right, here we go.
Calm down. No, don't tell me to calm down. You disrespecting me.
Disrespecting me.
No, you disrespecting me.
Look, if you want to call yourself a she/her, shave. Like, can't have a full-on beard and call yourself a she/her just because you got a fake wig. I know not all, but I know, majority of black women have, fake hair and all that stuff. But just because you put one on doesn't make you a chick. And literally, his entire body structure says dude. You just look like a dude with a wig.
Okay, all right, I'm tired. The way you're acting is not cool in my classroom. I don't care.
Kick him out. Kick him out.
So many times. I am not happy.
There you are.
I don't care. I don't care.
Hold on. His name's Josh. All he has to call himself a she/her is some fake hair. Like, what the fuck, dude? Is this a joke?
You are a whole man and you walking up on me at the end of the day. You still being disrespectful. No. Yes, I'm not. But somebody still respecting my head. You are Joshua, and that's what I'm saying. Is that right? Yes, you are. I done told you so many times.
I done told you so many times. What the fuck? Like, again, this dude has a full-on beard. Is this just like did someone make this TikTok as a joke or something?
Yes,
I can't think someone can be this fucking delusional.
Back away. My pro now.
No, you don't.
At the end of the day, you still a man. You still a man. You need to act. Chill out.
Dude, he's talking like a dude. His body structure is a dude. Like, everything says dude. The only thing that says not a dude is his fake wig. That's all that says maybe this guy's not a dude. Like, if you just saw face this, covered, body covered and everything, and just saw the fake hair, you would think chick. But everything else, it's a dude in a wig. I'm a she/her. You finna disrespect me. What the fuck? That was just. If I saw this and this guy and he's like, I'm a she/her, I'd be like, what? Be like, bullshit. Oh, what the fuck? I'm a she/her. Oh, I needed that laugh. All right, now we got another delusional person.
I pressed the call button and it went to my apartment person.
Now, in this guy's defense, at least he's put in some effort. All right. Not much, but far more. He doesn't have got like a full-on fucking beard. If you just saw this at a glance, you may think chick. Then he speaks, you're like, what?
As soon as I said hello. Hello, sir.
Look, if you're going to have this voice and you're going to sound like a dude, guess what? They're going to say, sir. They're probably not looking at the video screen.
Number one, I'm not sir. Number two, I'm trapped in an elevator. In that order. I'd rather be stuck in an elevator and called man than out of an elevator and called sir.
Really? I'd rather just not be called. You can call me whatever you want. Just get me out of the fucking elevator. I don't give a shit. Because guess what? After all this, I'm going to go about my goddamn day and have a great fucking day, regardless of what you fucking call me. Like, what the fuck?
That's the truth. Oh, there's a little bounce. Oh, I didn't like that. Oh, I didn't like that.
And this guy's facial, you look at this guy's facial structure. Definitely dude. You never be like, dude. He doesn't have to speak. You think, dude. But there's a lot more effort than the last guy. I'll give him props. There's a lot more effort.
Oh, it's working. I think it's working. We did it.
And that is sir, first off. Second off, I'm trapped in an elevator. Okay. Look, I don't know about anyone else, but my first concern is to get me out of this fucking elevator that I'm trapped in. I'm not a sir. I'd rather be trapped in an elevator and called ma'am than out of an elevator called sir. Well, it looks like you got out of an elevator and you're still called sir. So, sucks for you, eh? I'm not going to pull this up because it's not that important in my opinion. But apparently, Trump's attorney, Alina Habba, says on Newsmax that Chris Christie is only running for president. Talk about Trump, and suggests that Chris Christie drop out of the race for president. Do you agree? I agree. Yeah, that's all. That's all. Like 99% of Chris Christie's talking points is Trump. Trump. I know I like Trump. Trump. So yeah, no, I absolutely agree with you. Also, god damn. Look, say what you will about Trump. I will pull this up just for it, but at least he knows how to bring some attractive women. She good. Like, can we appreciate that about Trump? He, like, he always brings, he at least brings some hot chicks coming. Like, his second press secretary, that chick, whew. And then his attorney, wow. The only thing better is he hired Camila Vasquez from a Johnny Depp trial. All right, let's look at some funny costumes and call it a day. These kids are brilliant, by the way.
Are you Donald Trump? Yes, I am. Yeah.
I'm Hillary Clinton. Shut
up.
Shut up.
This bag of candy is so huge to the rim.
Are you Donald Trump?
Yes, I am. Yeah.
And I'm Hillary Clinton. Shut up.
Anyway, I want this bag of candy is so huge.
Are you Donald?
Kid. All right, that's the wrong one. Yeah, good on you, man. Good on you. I love that. That was hilarious. Huge. Shut up. Oh, that was funny. I love it. This kid's hilarious. Oh, man. All right. Now, here's another kid that's funny, too. Here's another kid that was funny. All right. All right. Here we go.
Mr. President, please, one step, Mr. President. Yes,
these kids are in suits and everything. Oh, that's funny as hell.
Mr. President, please.
He's got a bunch of his buddies in like kind of like Secret Service looking attire. That's hilarious. They're in suits.
Yes, right here. No, this way, right here.
You know what? Good on you guys. That was great. You know what? Even this one too. Look at that one too. That was great. These kids are hilarious. That was funny as hell. I saw those and I was like, I gotta share this. This is hilarious. Oh man, that was funny. Some smart fucking people, honestly. Really smart people. The only thing better is if they got those two together. The Donald Trump kid and the Joe Biden kid. That would be, and they go up to houses together. You gotta appreciate some kids' ingenuity. That just made my day. Oh, that was funny as hell. Oh man. Oh, Donald Trump one. I want huge to the brim. Huge. Joe Biden can't get up these stairs. Smart, so smart. All right, that's all I got for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I enjoyed that last bit. That was hilarious to me. It made me laugh. I went, ho, 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 green giant. Oh, man. So there we go. All right, that's all we got for the day. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you give me a follow at Official W Ghost. Follow me here on this Rumble channel, rumble.com/withghost, and my gaming channel, rumble.com/gamingwithghost. Check out Coffee Brand Coffee. The links are in the description. And And I hope you all have a good day. Peace out.